Picture this. You're commanding the army of the world's greatest superpower. You've fought for years, you've won battles, you've crushed rebellions. Now, you're trapped in a muddy little town at the edge of the world. Your men starving, your walls collapsing, enemy cannons turning the night sky into fire. On October 19, 1781 at Yorktown, Virginia, the British Empire didn't just lose a battle, it lost America. Act 1, how an empire walked into a trap. By 1781, the American Revolution has been dragging on for over 6 brutal years. The British look strong on paper. Around 30,000 troops in North America, control of key ports like New York, the world's most feared navy, the Americans. George Washington's Continental Army is underfed, underpaid, and exhausted. By 1781, the American Revolution has been dragging on for over 6 brutal years. The British look strong on paper. Around 30,000 troops in North America, control of key ports like New York, the world's most feared navy, the Americans. George Washington's Continental Army is underfed, underpaid, and exhausted. In reality, he's stepping into the perfect kill box. Act 2, Washington's gamble. While Cornwallis digs in at Yorktown, George Washington is sitting far to the north near New York City. His original plan? Attack the British in New York, their biggest stronghold. But then, in August 1781, Washington gets the message that changes everything. The French fleet under Admiral de Grasse is sailing north from the Caribbean, with around 28 ships of the line and thousands of troops. Their destination, the Chesapeake Bay near Yorktown. Washington realizes he has one shot. If he and French General Rochambeau can secretly march their combined armies and with about 16,000 men from New York to Virginia, and if the French Navy can block British reinforcements at sea, they can trap Cornwallis. No escape by land, no rescue by sea. It's a 230-mile march, through heat, mud and dust. And they have to do it without tipping off the British. Act 3, the news tightens. September 5th, 1781. Before Washington even reaches Yorktown, the French and British navies collide in the Battle of the Chesapeake, also called the Battle of the Capes. Admiral de Grasse versus Admiral Thomas Graves. The fight is brutal, masts shatter, guns explode. And when the smoke clears, the British Navy has been driven off. The sea route to Yorktown is now locked by the French. Cornwallis is officially on his own. On September 28, 1781, Washington and Rochambeau's armies finally arrive outside Yorktown. About 16,000 American and French soldiers surround roughly 8,500 British and German troops under Cornwallis. The siege of Yorktown has begun. Act 4, 4,000 shells a day. Washington starts classic siege warfare. First parallel trench, then a second line closer to the British defences, then artillery, lots of artillery. On October 9, 1781, the Allied bombardment begins. More than 70 American and French guns open fire. Cannonballs, mortar shells, hot shot. At the peak, they're firing around 4,000 rounds a day. British defences start to crumble. Gun positions are smashed. Supply dumps explode. Cornwallis's men are exhausted. They're eating reduced rations. Disease spreads. Sleep is almost impossible with the constant bombardment, but there's one last obstacle in Washington's way. 2 forward British positions, Redoubt 9 and Redoubt 10, blocking the Allied advance. Act 5, Redoubts 9 and 10, the night attack. October 14, 1781, Washington orders a risky night assault. No firing, only bayonets. Surprises everything. On the American side, Alexander Hamilton leads the storming party against Redoubt 10. On the French side, troops assault Redoubt 9. In a matter of minutes, it's over. Both redoubts are captured. The Allied lines are now so close they can pour devastating fire directly into the British positions. Cornwallis has one desperate move left. RCT-6, escape and surrender. On the night of October 16, Cornwallis tries to escape. He loads men into boats, hoping to ferry them across the York River to Gloucester Point. Slip away and fight another day. But nature itself turns against him. A sudden storm slams into the river. Boats are scattered, the crossing collapses. The next day, October 17th, white flags appear. Cornwallis sends a drummer and an officer with a handkerchief of truce to the American lines. He asks to negotiate. 2 days later, on October 19th, 1781, the British Army at Yorktown formally surrenders. Roughly 7,000, 8,000 British and German soldiers lay down their arms. George Washington refuses to attend the personal surrender to Cornwallis, who claims to be ill and sends his second-in-command instead. Symbolically, the greatest empire in the world has just been forced to admit defeat to a rebellion that was never supposed to win. The war doesn't officially end until the Treaty of Paris in 1783, but every serious leader in Europe understands the truth. Yorktown is the breaking point. After 22 days of siege, from September 28 to October 19, 1781, Britain's will to fight collapses. A muddy little town in Virginia becomes the place where an empire bends, and a new nation rises. This was the battle that broke an empire, but every empire thinks it's invincible, right up until the day it isn't. Which final defeat in history should we break down next? Be sure to like and subscribe for more bite-sized glimpses into the past.